And look, there's going to be a lot to dive into. We're going to be pretty much here the entire time talking through this and then pointing out things that we see, things that catch our attention that we want to highlight for the community. And as it stands right now, I mean, we have all these incredible creators, Stephanie, that are participating in this. And you know that they're loving every minute of it. Playing some Kill Confirm with the homies, always a good time.
Yeah, I think we want to start off with talking about maps. There's so much to talk about, but let's start small for today. We're going to be playing 5 maps here, and those are the 5 multiplayer Core 6v6 maps that are in beta. Greg, you want to take us through what we're going to see?
Yeah, of course. Well, right now we're watching a little bit of Skid Row, and that is, you know, a great map.
Iconic.
We have Rust here, and again, Rust is, there's so much happening in these maps, and you know, Adam. What else are we seeing? What else are we going to have in the beta?
Well, so
Favela.
As Stephanie mentioned, today we're playing 5 of the 16 Core 6v6s that we're launching on day 1 with Modern Warfare 3. So we're talking Favela, Estate, Rust, Skid Row, High Rise, all of which are stone cold classics that, you know, we've modernized to, you know, accommodate the Modern Warfare 3 updated player mechanics and movement and gameplay and weapon feel. So I'm really excited to get a little taste of what's going to be in the beta. And then, you know, give players some excitement around what's launching on day 1.
It's really fun for me, as I had mentioned previously, you know, having played and competed way back in the day in Modern Warfare 2 and stuff, and seeing these maps return again. Because, like, you know, I look at Favela and I remember, a long time ago, and Clayster eliminated me from a Game Battles tournament and absolutely bopped me in the middle, you know, in front of all my friends. He doesn't remember it, but I remember it for the rest of my life.
That's all that matters.
Favela holds a special place in my heart, for sure.
I think the coolest thing for me is dropping into a brand new set of maps, but having enough familiarity. I know right where I am, right? But a lot of what we've done and what we're going to see today are these great sledgehammer touches that you guys have brought to these maps, made modern for Modern Warfare 3.
That's right. We've stayed true to the original level design and layout of the original maps. So if you remember some sweet spots, some lines of sight from the originals, those are still going to be there. But we've also made some adjustments to just make them feel better for Modern Warfare 3's player movement and weapon feel. And we feel like it's a really happy medium and a great balance between the two.
Here's my personal favorite, Kim.
Agreed.
I would like to talk to you about this. Fellow high-rise stands, where are you at? I know you're back here.
I see players are already figuring out some of the Easter eggs of, you know, the original maps and how to get back into it.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was only one way to try and take over Bombsite and S&D. You had to hit the little catwalk on the opening of the map. Come on, guys.
Everybody, yesterday, I saw all the creators at the red carpet event. They're all like, I'm sniping off the map. I'm sniping off the ladder on high res. Watch me. I'm a 360 off it. I'm like, oh, here we go. We're already there.
So good.
It was so important to us to keep all of those opening moves that you remember from back in the day, and being able to have those in the game, but also have this modernization of the movement, how we're able to work with the high mantles in the game now, like all of this stuff that we're watching in high res. You can now go over a lot of this with mantles, and you can go over, like, you can use your slide canceling, you could do all of that.
Well, I was going to ask about that. Did that create a layer of, you know, maybe some complexity with the slide canceling and stuff like that, like trying to ensure that the maps don't get just completely, like, turned upside down on its head?
It does, and one of the things about these maps is these maps were made 14 years ago, like, and to have that, like, we had to make them ready to go for 2023, right? We've added that modernization to them, to what gamers expect, to what our Call of Duty
game design changed a lot in those years.
Yeah, it is, and you have to bring everything up to the standard of today. And when we've gone through and we've maintained a lot of that within these maps, and there's a few places where we've had to make exceptions for that, but for the most part, like, you can go in, those lines of sights that were there are still there, and you're going to have fun. You're going to be able to do those opening moves, those opening snipe shots, especially in high rise, just off the bat.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And keeping that conversation going, what are the maps like? Because I know that there's going to be more down the line.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Let's talk about the launch maps.
So in addition to these 5 that we're playing today, day 1 on launch, we're going to get the rest of the 16 OGs from 2009. So we're talking Karachi, Invasion, Afghan, Quarry, Skid Row, you know, Sub-Base, Rundown. Yeah, like it's all there, and on and on.
Oh, we got the scrap.
Yeah, so we're super excited to be bringing those. And in addition to those OGs, we have some new ground war maps that we're launching too. So we have 3 ground war maps that are brand new which is the the traditional like 32v32 vehicle gameplay.
back.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's going to be an awesome alternative for people if they want to take a break from 6v6 or just mash it up.
Like, want to go bigger, but you don't necessarily want to dive fully into Warzone. You have Ground War. That is so, for people like me who like, big, crazy, like huge battles, like this is so exciting.
Yeah.
Ground War is a great mode for that. And aside from Ground War, I'm excited to say that there is another mode coming back that many of us know and love originally from Call of Duty World War II. And that is War Mode.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, we are super. I mean, War Mode holds a special place in my heart too.
Yeah.
From 2017. It's a brand new map that's launching on day one as well. It's got the attacker defender gameplay that we remember from the mode, the linear objectives, the buildables, the scripted events. It's really exciting to see that be part of our day one launch slate as well.
Awesome. So we've got Ground War, we've got Core 6v6, we've got War Mode, and a little something we're going to get to later in the show, a brand new mode coming to multiplayer that will be available at launch.
That's right.
And also playable in the beta.
That's right. Yeah.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's really so cool to see a lot of these players get back to the roots, because you can even see it. Like, something I always enjoyed about a lot of these like big reveal events, right, is everyone loads in, they're discovering these maps for the first time, they're seeing them with fresh eyes. But here, that's not the case. We got a lot of familiarity here, and now the fresh eyes are going to be like, what did they add? What did they contribute to like make this into their own vision of a map? But I do appreciate as a competitive guy that you guys really focused on keeping the core of the map. Some of these maps that maybe were less played like competitively or even casually back in the day.
Whole new experience.
Whole new experience.
Yeah.
Whole new experience. You have some of those maps, those larger maps in Modern Warfare 209, like Derail and Underpass, and those play fantastic when you get into 10v10 or 12v12. We've had those modes are coming. They're going to come out after launch. And it's just fabulous to be able to play them on there. We also have control for those CDL players out there.
CDL folks, yes.
And that's going to be amazing to watch the competitive community go to town on these maps and really, play them and understand what's happening.
Well, we're watching some great kill confirmed action here. We've been flipping around a bit, and find me in that sniper lane. That's all I got to say on High Rise. I will be there. I will be waiting for you in the beta tomorrow.
This is so great.
ADS ready.
I know we've been talking a lot about the 20-year anniversary of Call of Duty, but like what better way to celebrate that than with
these
dropping
classic
all
maps.
of these
Yeah.
16 day one.
We're looking at High Rise in 2023. And it's brand new. That's so cool. I'm just going to take a moment to appreciate that. Like, it's not every day that you get to not just go back and like relive things that you enjoyed so much growing up, but then also to there are some streamers here who are younger than Call of Duty's launch, 20 years ago. So they're going to get to experience this really with a fresh coat of paint for the first time ever. That has to feel quite liberating for you guys, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
I think really these maps hold up for old school veterans as well as like people who are brand new to Call of Duty. If this is your first game playing Call of Duty, you're obviously
Never been a better time to
Yeah.
jump in. Yeah, I mean, you're absorbing so much of COD's history. To your point, what a better way to celebrate 20 years of Call of Duty than with these iconic maps returning in an all-new way. And we're going to talk about all those new ways as part of the the innovations that you guys have brought to gameplay in just a second. But we want to remind the audience out there that while you're watching gameplay today, you will get to play it starting tomorrow. Take a look here at the beta schedule for players who pre-order on PlayStation starting tomorrow, and next week for players who order on Xbox and PC. The maps, modes, weapons you're seeing here today, those are in beta, and so are 2 new Ground War maps and in-game rewards for playing. So anyway, take a look, take notes here with the pros playing, tune into the stream, get some hot tips before you drop into your first match tomorrow.
That's right. It's going to be quite exciting to see, everyone across like all the different platforms, just like going live, playing COD, like, and then again, loading up and then seeing like Scrapyard or High Rise. Still just blows my mind. I genuinely am so excited about this. But, there are a lot of like maps that returning fans like myself definitely will enjoy. But, I love some new. Is there anything that we should be expecting, like post-launch as far as like maps go?
Oh, definitely. I am very, very excited to tell you both today that starting season 1, we have a bunch of new maps coming. So Season 1, we're dropping 3. Season 2, dropping 3 more new ones. So over the course of our entire live season, there will be 12 new 6v6 maps coming to Modern Warfare 3.
Awesome.
So
Launching with 16, 12 down the road. That is a big map pool to choose from.
And these are all different sizes of maps, different locales, for all different play styles. You know, you might see 1 or 2 fan favorites come back as well over the course of live season, but we have a bunch of new maps coming that we're really excited about.
And those are 6v6
Yep,
competitive
6v6
maps that players can play. There are other maps in there as well that we'll talk about once we get into the live season, but 6v6 core maps
Stay tuned.
right off the bat.
Brand new.
And guess what? With all of those maps, it's back. You know what you can do with them? You can vote. We're going to see it in a lobby soon, but map voting is back, folks.
Yeah, that's huge.
Get excited. I mean, the community has been thrilled. I can't wait to see it in action here today. I'll be taking notes on which ones we know are the ringers of the group. I think we have a good feeling.
Somebody voted for Estate, it looks like. Here, we're looking at Estate.
Oh,
right
nice,
now.
yeah.
Somebody voted for that. Yeah,
I-
that's a good one for snipers.
I like Estate.
Yep.
I think we
Always have.
we have an idea of where the maps are going to land in the
Yep.
voting. But when you account for the new modes, the modes that you were never
Yeah.
playing in there before,
Yeah.
when you get into hardpoint and you need that space to have that rotation, it'll be interesting to see what ones are popping
Oh,
up. at the
that's
top.
what I'm looking forward to. I want to jump into a private match lobby with my friends and run around and see where the hard points are on you know, these, like on Derailed or something like that. Because Skid Row, like, I was actually talking with Nameless in the back about this. It's like these maps now, like you have maps like Skid Row that could actually like be potentially viable, like competitively, which is quite exciting. It just changes the entire like feel of the offering, which, you know, we didn't have back then.
We've honestly already been talking to CDL a little bit about some of their favorites, about what they might want to play, and it's great to get their feedback early on to see how the competitive...
All right, we're looking at Lupo, my guy Lupo. He is
good at sniping.
in his loadout editor. We can get a good look here. He's got the lightweight boots. And Kim, I would love if you would take us through what we're seeing here and how loadout select has changed and what players can expect.
Yeah, so what you're seeing here, so someone is looking at our boots category. This is actually one of our new categories for perks. So we've split up the perks into 3 different categories. We have boots, gloves, and gear. And you're going to see some fan favorites come back. We've remixed some of the perks, and we've brought some new ones into the fray. Now, they're all also represented with physical gear items. So everything that you see there has some contextualization for players. So it's not just a list of things you're selecting from. It's like you're getting these movement boosts because you're bringing in boots, or you're getting this weapon handling bump because you're bringing in gloves. So we really like to add that sort of context for players to understand what they're bringing in for perks.
Yeah, it's different, it's logical, but you're also going to see some of the same perks that we know and love. So
yes.
Call of Duty fans will be familiar with them, but presented in an all-new way. What are you guys most excited about to see here with players getting into that loadout edit, kind of customizing these builds out for their play styles?
I think for me, it's all of the movement aspects of it, right? So we have so many things that are on there on perks that are around. We have one that allows you to slide further.
The knee pads.
Yeah, the knee pad. The
Greg, I've been using the
tac pads.
I've been using the tac pads.
And then we have the lightweight boots. We have the canvas sneakers. I also hear they're your favorite.
I'm sneaky. I'm trying to move. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah.
We need all the things.
So, and those are just going to cancel out your noise when you're moving around. They're going to eliminate footsteps.
The true silent movement perk
true silent
is
movement
back.
perk
Yep.
is there.
Can confirmed, have used it, heard nothing. So it is very silent.
Hopefully it was only footsteps.
Oh yeah, no, I could. Well, also, you know, I mean, I can't hear anymore either. Old age, anyway. No.
He keeps making these old jokes. I don't know what's happening.
But hey, I guess when you're talking about Call of Duty having been around for so long, it's just amazing how we've all just grown up with this, right? And you guys are seeing these things that happened back then. You know, the way the game was made, and you're taking ways to like improve upon it while also again keeping it very familiar, but also keeping it very fresh. Something that really stuck out to me, Kim, is that you guys bringing back that classic of radar, right? You know, you got your mini map with red dots on there.
Yeah.
I love it. And I'm glad that came back in.
Yeah, we are too. I mean, so any unsuppressed weapon fire will show up as a red dot on the mini-map, and we think it's really just a core intel piece for our player base for Modern Warfare 3. We really want to make sure that people know where the firefights are happening, really understand, you know, and as we mentioned earlier about just knowing the maps and being very familiar and nostalgic with those things. Like, you can see the red dots on the mini maps, and you can understand, I know the map already potentially coming in. I know how I'm going to flank. I know where we're going to go. You can strategize more with your teammates. So, you know, we really just felt that bringing back the classic was absolutely the way to go.
It's classic gameplay returned to classic maps. I think, to your point, on these maps, it makes perfect sense, especially with the familiarity. And even for new players, you're going to figure these maps out quickly. But it's it feels right. It feels great. I've really loved seeing it. You have a direct way to engage. So I'm really excited to hear you guys talk about that. And that's not the only piece of classic gameplay that you'll see returning in Modern Warfare 3.
Oh, tell me more.
Tell me more. We've talked about a little bit of movement, but I'd like to get into some of the nitty-gritty. Slide animation cancel, reload animation cancel. They're both back.
Yeah. So we felt really strongly about bringing back slide cancel and reload cancel. You know, and in both of those things, really the core was we wanted players to feel responsive and feel like they had a lot of options. So we know that when you commit to doing a slide, you're stuck on a pretty linear trajectory. We know that when you're doing a reload, some of those weapons have really long reloads. It's a real big commitment. So even after doing that, we wanted to make sure that players had the choice to cancel out of that, because we know things change moment to moment so quickly in these battles. And it felt right, you know, and we're just so happy that we have it back in. And we know that I think we feel that players are really going to be happy these things are back in.
Awesome. We're going to see it a lot here today. I'm sure we have our movement kings and queens getting around the map in new and interesting ways. Now, Greg, time to kill, or TTK. Always a hot topic with our players, with our community. It's complex. It has a lot of different moving pieces when we talk about it. Can you give us details on what to expect in terms of time to kill for Modern Warfare 3?
Yes, I can. I can give you the exact details.
Yes, you can! This is the guy.
Only the exact details.
Only the exact details. So rather than 100 health, we have 150 health across all of our players.
So that's got parity with Warzone.
So that is parity with Warzone, what's currently live in Warzone.
Yep.
And it'll also carry over into Modern Warfare 3 Season 1 as well. And what we've also done with that time to kill, so what you're going to notice is it's much more consistent across the board. So we've eliminated some of these spikes that we've had in the past, because our modifiers, so we have modifiers on when you get a headshot, it does more damage. When you do a limb shot, it does less damage. So we've kind of normalized those and closed the gap between them. And what that allows for you as a player is you're able to really have this experience where it's consistent. So when you're putting bullets on target, it is now like you get that feeling, you get that rhythm back into your gameplay, and you're able to go from combat to combat and start to feel that pace of combat, especially with our hit markers now, like the sound effect. If you haven't had a chance to listen to them, like, they're fantastic. The audio team's done a great job with them.
Hit markers also fantastic.
Yeah, hit marker visuals as well. So you're also notice that headshot hit marker. So that's when that extra damage is going to come into play, and it's normalized across the board. So it is a little longer. You could respond to getting shot. Like, as soon as you start to see your screen light up red, you can pull away, you can get into cover, and really take that engagement in the way that you want to take that engagement.
Yeah, I think with those visual identifiers and with the audio cues, kind of taking that step forward a little bit, you certainly feels like you have a bit more time to evade, definitely.
Yes.
You have more survivability, you have more options with the freedom of movement.
Yes, it certainly
to get out of combat. And that includes a new thing that I would like to talk about called tac stance.
Yes, tac stance is a fantastic addition to our movement set, as well as what you're doing with tactical gameplay. It is a mix, it's right in between your aim down the sight, so you're very, like, pinpoint accuracy, and your hip fire. So hip fire is going to be that big spread that you have. And so what it allows you to do is when you're in ADS, you can actually go in and toggle tac stance.
We just saw the UI pop up on
sweet.
the
There
screen.
it is. There's tac stance right there.
It's gonna appear as down on the D-pad for those of you.
And for any
watching gameplay.
sweats out there, I think it's important to note this is kind of it takes like an assault rifle and turns it into almost like a little bit of a sub, where you can kind of like push corners a little bit more aggressively with it.
It's great for a CQB.
Yeah. So it feels like you're getting the best of both worlds with it, while also still obviously you're not going to get the full benefits of using an SMG.
And so those LMGs, like being able to take those longer range, when we talked earlier about Derail or some of the larger maps, like you want to be able to run a longer gun. So being able to take that in and then going to canted, going to tack stance, inside, indoors, going in those warehouses is a fabulous mechanic to have.
We just saw it here. We're seeing some clips of it. Yep.
Yeah, and it is very good. Having used it myself, I can see the application for it, and I think we're going to see some awesome outplay opportunities. Like, players are going to go nuts with that feature.
Yeah. It's also nice just if you have a specific playstyle. Adam, you mentioned it's really great for close quarters combat, which is personally what I have used it for when I've been playtesting with you guys. But I think it's there if you want it, and if you're not, if you're not into it, don't use it. You know, it's an option. It's again that optionality for players to choose how they engage with movement and all of these new fun toys that we're showing off in Modern Warfare 3.
And there are option settings for that tack stance. Right now, it's on the down D-pad. If you're not a controller masher like I am, I get in there, I panic a little bit. There's options for you to allow you to put it on your stick, which, well, if you're not a keyboard and mouse player, and you can go in and it is much more like it is a skill at that point, being able to utilize that in those close quarters combat.
Right. Adam, I see you studying gameplay intently. We're on Rust here. What are we seeing?
I love me some Rust. And just talking about the options any player can use. Somebody was running a shotgun a second ago. Now we're seeing somebody with an AR. There's snipers up at the top of the tower. There's, on a map like this, that's
a lot of variety.
Yeah, that's really like fast gameplay. You can still see it. It's viable for all different play styles, which is really exciting.
Yeah, there really is nothing better than grabbing a shotty and just running around the map and.
I mean, he just had the Renetti out. He's going ham with it.
Going in.
You got all different options here. We're probably going to see a lot of that on Rust today.
Taking a hard point right now.
Well, this has been really fun to check out, and who has been playing Modern Warfare 2, right? We now know like their inventory. That's going to be making its way over to this game, which is really, really cool, and it creates that like value for that player. Like, hey, my time here was worthwhile.
Exactly, and it is all about honoring the player investment for us. Like we call this carry forward. We talked a little bit about it before. We had some blog posts about it, but with carry forward, all of your investment into Modern Warfare 2 is coming over into Modern Warfare 3. So any weapon that you unlocked is available for you day one in Modern Warfare 3. So you can go ahead and use that. Any operator that you've purchased or that you've unlocked as well. So if you got that spawn operator from Season 6.
The Season 6 Battle Pass is coming with us.
It's there. It's there at day one, and it's fantastic to have. Even all of those blueprints and everything coming in. With your weapon level as well is available. All of your attachments, your camos are there.
If you completed your mastery camos, you got your Orion. That's coming with.
But don't worry, the grind is still there for the Modern Warfare 3 weapons because it has its own set of completionist camos as well that you can go in and grind your heart out for those and go ahead and get those, in the game.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of the other new challenges coming to Modern Warfare 3. In a little bit, but exciting to hear that the camo grind is real. We'll be back on it before we know it. More to come soon.
Oh yeah, more to come. I love it. More to come soon. So ominous.
News at 6.
Well, speaking of weapons, though, I love the fact that we're going to get carried forward. I like the fact that there's plenty as we're seeing here. What other new weapons might we? Be treated to, I guess, moving forward here?
We have a bunch of new weapons coming in Modern Warfare 3. We have over 30 new weapons that you can experience, level, get new attachments for them. We have new global attachments as well that are available that you can use across all of your weapons.
Wow.
Yeah, even the Modern Warfare 2 weapons. And then we have 20-plus operators that are there for you to unlock and be able to use and experience.
If you don't mind me asking, how it must have been a fun challenge to take those weapons from MW2 and then bring them over to MW3 and really try.
Oh yeah, it's been a fun challenge.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, it's been great, and being able to have all of those weapons and being able to have your arsenal come with you is an amazing experience.
I felt like it was important to you guys to have that.
It is. It's very important for us to honor our players and be able to take all of that. But you spent a year in this game. We need to bring that into the next game and allow you to be able to experience it and have fun and not set you back all the way. We still have 1 to 55. You're going to be able to level that again. And we have new content in there for you to experience.
All the bells and whistles.
All the bells and whistles is there. But being able to have those weapons, being able to make it work with all of the attachments, we're actually doing tuning on those weapons as well, so they're not going to be exactly the same. They're going to
get the balance pass. For Modern
they're going to
Warfare
have
3.
the essence of the Modern Warfare 2 weapons, but they're not going to be one-to-one. you can actually go in, and our friends at Beanox have been able to put in detailed weapon stats for us. And you're going to be able to go in and look at all of those intricacies, check out what their headshot multipliers are, check out what their limb damage is, all of that stuff in there.
And that brings up attachment tuning. Attachment tuning is coming to Modern Warfare 3.
It is. It's part of Modern Warfare 2. It's part of that carry forward.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, excellent stuff. I think we're all just happy that, what I had already used is gonna come with me.
Nicki Minaj is coming with you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
That was what I needed to know about. Not Spawn. Although I do love me some Spawn.
The Barbs are thrilled. Kim, we are seeing some epic looking skins and weapons on our creators here today. In fact, right now, if you look at the screen, check that out. I believe these are from the Modern Warfare 3 Vault Edition. Can you give us some additional info?
Yeah, happy to. So what you're seeing right now are the weapon camos that are going to be in our Vault Edition. There's a blue and a red version. So there's the Crimson Fate is what we're calling one of them, and the Carbon Fate is the other. And these will be applicable on 4 different weapons if you get the Vault Edition, plus all of their attachments. And they're reactive, so the better you do in the match, the more eliminations you get in a match, the more you'll start to see that visual change on your weapon. And as you can see also, the operators have their own versions of this. These are the
cool.
Nemesis.
And diving into it a little bit more, I understand as well that there is also a new system that you guys have on top of that with the aftermarket parts, right? Which if we could dive a little bit more into that, because that sounded really fascinating to kind of like make guns play in a different way just off of one part alone.
Yeah, it is. And here we're seeing a little bit of it where this is our LMG that has a bullpup conversion to it. So they're full conversion kits that allow these weapons to really go cross-class and to change up. They are meaningful, powerful changes.
And that's a Renetti.
That's a Renetti that is actually turning into an SMG with this conversion kit. It's like a 3D printed part on there.
No secondary.
No secondary. So what you do not, like we have a gunner vest that allows you to take a primary as a secondary. You do not need to take that if you're swapping out your Renetti for that aftermarket part to make it into an SMG.
And one of the coolest things is how you unlock these amps. So we're going to see, we call them amps. We
Amps.
love acronyms here, guys. So we have 2 amps that are coming to beta, I believe. But how you're going to unlock them at launch and beyond, you want to talk a little bit about those challenges?
Yeah, so in beta, they unlock a little differently than they do at launch. So at launch, they're actually, we have a new system called weekly challenges. It is pretty much exactly as it sounds. There are challenges, a group of challenges that we release weekly.
I was worried it was like bi-weekly for a moment.
Yeah.
Trick question.
Yeah. Thankfully, it is every week. And then the reward for getting all of those challenges for that week is an aftermarket part. So the first 3 weeks that the game is out, we have an aftermarket part reward for those completing those challenges. You can then take that aftermarket part into the game and use that.
I think too, again, it just the through line with Modern Warfare 3. This is player choice, is player freedom. It's on this new way to customize the experience and let the player kind of choose the way to have their own play style reflected in those guns using the amps. It's super exciting.
Yeah, it definitely is. As we're going to continue to take, just more of a look and enjoy, the game as players continue to run around and get into some more shenanigans, playing some domination here as well on Estate. I've done that many times. So, this is, again, it still just baffles my mind that I'm looking at, these maps in 2023, and I'm just excited to play them. Yeah, and even the movement. I'm just excited to play them then as I am now, like that is such a wonderful feeling to have. And then also on top of that too, just to see the way that, players can interact with the ways you build your classes. I really do like what you guys did with the perk system and how you contextualized it and made it and behind there are all the players that are behind that screen, which is so cool. I didn't even know that was a thing that you could do. 15 years in this industry, still continuously to be shocked by new tech that comes out all the time.
This is Call of Duty, baby.
Yeah, you guys go big. I respect it.
Cutting edge.
Yeah, I love it. Love to see it here. We get a few of these games wrapped up, but there's definitely this sense in the room of like, all right, Q next. Go next. GG, go next.
It is.
Go next.
It's so fun to play it. Like, every day I come into the office and I boot up the game, get into a match as quickly as possible, and start playing. And it is just fun to watch them play as well because there's so many things that they're doing. Like earlier, we were watching a circuit around the estate house, And that movement just looks so hot going through it. So
Yeah.
like being able to mantle, we have sprint when you're tack sprinting. We actually increase the mantle speed so it feels more fluid as you're going across. And we're regenning your tack sprint as you're sprinting as well.
I also saw a couple people pop off with Battle Rage. So Battle Rage is back.
Battle Rage is back.
Yep.
It's actually moved into the tactical slot.
Yes.
So it is very powerful. So if you take that, we have an awesome vest, the engineering vest, that allows you to take 2 tacticals. As maybe we didn't touch on the vest.
Actually,
quite
yeah,
a bit.
let's talk about the
let's talk
vest.
about some of the
Yeah.
vests.
Yeah, so the vest is a really big piece of that. Like, it is our main core piece of gear. Kim touched on how we contextualized everything. That vest is we're contextualizing what you're actually putting into the game. So it's going to dictate what your tacticals, what tactical slots you have, how many you can take, how many lethals you can take, how many well, you get 1 boot and you get one glove.
Yeah.
So you can't take multiple gloves. But how many gear slots you can actually have. So with the engineering vest that I just mentioned, you're getting 2 tacticals that you can take
At the cost of your lethal.
at the cost of your lethal, and you also gain another gear slot.
Awesome.
And that gear slot is super important because that gear slot is where all of your intelligence perks lie. So those are things like what we used to call hardline or high alert sit in that slot, and now you can take both of them at the same time and really have that advantage.
Awesome.
Yeah,
and
well,
if there are 4 vests to choose from at the moment, I believe.
Correct. In beta, there are 4, yeah.
So in beta, there are 4. Expect to see those tomorrow. Infantry vests, engineer vests. Seen a lot of people running infantry vests today. In fact, right here at the moment, we just got a peek at the loadout.
That is going to allow your tack sprint to regen faster. It is the core. Like, if you're familiar with Call of Duty, I imagine most of our people watching are. That is your core loadout. So you have your your normal 3 perks, and you get your tactical, lethal, primary, secondary.
Yep.
And what's cool about the vests is they actually have perks baked into them. So with the infantry vest baked in right away, you're getting that tack sprint refresh even faster. And also a little bit of an extended time there. And one of the things that we've done across the board is we've increased that tack sprint, and we've also allowed you to have much more faster ADS strafe speeds as well in there.
Yeah, I do like how you guys have managed to take a lot of the vests and stuff and then make it also combined with other things or like really have everything kind of synergized together and have you create like the optimal build here. It's quite customizable.
And it's really helped out a lot with how we balance the game in that sense. Because now what we've done is we've let you take more than we normally do, but we've also balanced that out with what you can't take in that same moment.
There are trade-offs,
Yeah.
very clear trade-offs. I think what you're talking about, selecting the vest, selecting the boots, it's going to come at a cost, and that's where the balance lies.
Yeah, and we love that we are going into these matches. You're making decisions. You have to make those decisions before you go in. And really, have consequences if you're choosing wrong and learn from it and go back and make new decisions.
So I can't change those in match, correct?
You can change them.
I can't change that was a trick.
The consequences. The consequences are,
Go hide
we want you
somewhere.
to be in
Yeah, I
control.
was like,
of it.
what?
You'll still have to live with the consequences of your actions.
I always
For
do.
that moment.
They've been haunting me for years now. Let's talk. I haven't seen anybody get one yet. I've seen a couple of streaks pop off, but I'm wondering about kill streaks.
Yeah.
If we have any personal favorites at the desk here.
Well, for sure. I mean, the equipment selection we have in Modern Warfare 3 is so much fun. I think my personal favorite, we'll start with the Breacher drone, which is actually a lethal. It's in your lethal slot.
Yes.
So it's basically a handheld drone that you pull out, and it's just slow flying down a hallway. You can clear dom points, hard points, and wipe out an entire enemy squad with it.
You want a 4-piece?
Yeah.
Equip the Breacher drone.
Yeah.
That's your option.
It'll explode on impact. The counter to that one, though, it's slow moving enough. You can shoot it down if you see it, the sky coming at you.
There you go.
So in addition to that, we have a mosquito drone, which you shoot into the air, and it basically encircles an area and then dive bombs an enemy when an enemy approaches that area.
I will, in fact, say that my experience with the mosquito drone has been quite as annoying as a real mosquito. they plague me in matches when I've play tested, and so I'm
Yeah,
You got
Tricky.
headphones on.
Tricky,
Turn them up.
yeah.
Because that's how you know
hear
it's
that
coming.
thing coming.
Right,
yeah.
right. We have something called the ACS, which is affectionately called the capture bot on the dev team. So it's basically this box that you throw down on a dom point or hard point, and it'll capture the point for you. So you can hang back and get in cover, and then let it capture the point for you. So when enemies come to try to take it, you can take them out from behind cover. So just yesterday, I had an awesome match where I put down an ACS on a dom point and then shot a mosquito drone in the air that it was patrolling. So I just like hung back and watched the whole thing unfold. An enemy rolled in there to try to get my ACS out, and then the mosquito drone got it, and I didn't have to do anything. I was just like, that's right. That's all my equipment doing
You're
the,
like, I
the work
have
for me.
crafted the master plan
Yeah.
to capture this point.
I was pretty proud of myself. It was pretty epic.
And then you went on to drop a nuke and have a big game. You know?
Yeah.
Not that good yet, but
Oh, okay, all right.
He drops 100 on shipment, guys. Don't believe it.
no, it was an awesome moment. So yeah, we just have a bunch of fun stuff coming in terms of lethals, tacticals, field equipment, streaks. We have the Guardian that gets a lot of love. It's basically, this thing that you put down that's an area of denial tool. You can just, it really limits enemies' movement when they run into the beam that it shoots out.
It doesn't actually eliminate players. For those of you who are going to stay tuned for Warzone later, which is hopefully all of you, I think we're going to see a lot of the Guardian in Battle Royale later. But it is that aerial denial, not necessarily getting the eliminations, but eliminating the players who are affected by the Guardian.
It's almost like a stun grenade, and we have something called the comm scrambler that you throw down, and it's basically, it creates like the ghost perk in a certain area. So, it wipes out enemy communication. So enemy UAVs won't work. Like everybody won't show up on the map in this certain area. But the counter to that is like everyone can see
the active area. Yeah,
exactly.
So you'll get ghost, I believe you said, if you're inside the vicinity of the comm scrambler, but you can see where it's active on the map. So expect to be
as soon as you throw it down, everybody knows where it is. They just you're kidding in that bubble for a little while,
which could be very useful indoors. I think that's a very cool tool to have. So, but before we wrap up the convo here on Core 6v6, I wanted to ask you about ranked play.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Greg, what can